Okay guys, so let's talk about Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community for creators just like us, with thousands of classes in business, design, and so much more. And whether you want to fuel your curiosity or your creativity or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. And personally, I just recently took the digital poster design course. And what I really liked about this course is that it showed you step by step on how to create powerful and engaging content. So right now you guys are in luck because Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to my subscribers who click the link in my description box, and then after that it's only $10 a month. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Aries. So for November, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury are all going to be in your 8th house. So what this means is that the major theme for you guys is going to be transformation. And specifically, this is a month where you're really transforming your identity. You're really going to be taking a deeper look at yourself. And there's almost like this increased awareness about who you really are, what you really value. You're going to be really analyzing your own patterns, your own behavior. You're really going to be almost examining yourself and seeing your own toxic behaviors, your own toxic thoughts, your own self-limiting beliefs. And it's almost like you're realizing all the problematic things about you and transforming that. Overall, there's this really prominent rebirth energy for you just because it's Scorpio season and you're having all these planets in your 8th house. 8th house is associated with Scorpio, so you're really going to have this intense rebirth. It's not going to be quite that easy or happy, but it's so necessary for your spiritual journey. And even to be more specific, I feel like, you're going to be more aware of past traumas, psychological wounds, everything that you thought that you knew about yourself is just going to be turned on its head this month. And I think by the end of November, you're going to be like a whole new person because you're just going to transform that much. And also, I really specifically see Aries. I see Aries transforming their vulnerabilities, their insecurities into their strengths. So with this energy, Aries' advice would be to not be too pessimistic. Don't wallow in your suffering. 8th house is the house of suffering in astrology, so having all this energy there isn't really pleasant. Like I said, it's not going to be like a happy, month for you necessarily. It could be, obviously, but just with this energy, it's going to be very intense, very challenging at certain points. So it's important not to get too pessimistic on this journey. And then also be aware of obsessive behaviors. Again, 8th house, Scorpio energy rules obsession. So this month you could be kind of wanting to be more obsessive about things, more controlling. You might want to be a little bit more extreme or impulsive, but really be aware of those tendencies or those habits and still try to have a sense of balance without overdoing it, without being obsessive or extreme. And more importantly, don't be too pessimistic. So in the midst of all this, there is good news. Jupiter and Venus is going to be making an aspect during November, and that's going to be happening in your 9th house. So this is really great news just because Jupiter and Venus are the two benefic planets in astrology. Those are the two planets that always give good luck, abundance, prosperity, love, all the good things in life are represented kind of by Jupiter and Venus. And 9th house is the house of travel. So this is a good month for you to maybe book a flight, to maybe travel, even if it's not that far, travel somewhere. It's going to be very beneficial for you to travel, even though it's obviously a hectic season to travel. Honestly, if Aries traveled this season, I feel like they would still experience good luck when they're traveling because of the influence of these two really benefic planets. And it's also a time where you can benefit from, socializing, from partying, going to weddings, going to social events, being spontaneous, just adventuring in general. Just going on adventures in general is really going to benefit you this month, and you're going to have a lot of luck when it comes to travel, adventures, and spontaneity. And it's also a good month too to gain more wisdom, gain more knowledge, learn a new skill, learn a new language, or start doing those things, start learning a new instrument, things like that, because 9th house does does represent those things. Also, for my people that are like in college, it's like an excellent time for exams, for studying. This could be a time where you just get really good grades without trying, or it's really beneficial for you academically if you're in school. So yeah, overall with the Jupiter-Venus aspect, it is a good time to adventure, to travel, to be very optimistic, to be open-minded, and just do things that are very ninth house related. So like I said, going to weddings, going to social events, traveling, expanding your mind, learning, things like that is really going to benefit you this month too. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Taurus. So for Taurus, some of the major events happening for you this month is that Sun and Mars are going to be in your 7th house, as well as Mercury. So basically, 7th house is the house of partnerships. So during this month, this upcoming month, partnerships is going to be a huge focus for you. And this can mean romantic partnerships or platonic partnerships or even business partnerships. And really what this means for Taurus is that you're really reevaluating your partnerships. You're reevaluating your own personal role in partnerships, and you're really perceiving your own identity from the perspective of others. And this can be a time overall where you're just kind of collaborating with others. You're inspired by others. Everything you do involves somebody else. This isn't really a month where you're just like by yourself doing your own thing. This is a month where you are very partner oriented, friendship oriented, and maybe even romantically oriented with your partner. And then, like I said, with that first point, like you're going to be inspired by others, and specifically with the Mars influence, you're going to be, your actions, your behavior is going to be triggered by others. So honestly, I could see this manifesting as you like doing something or starting a new project because someone else inspired you to, or motivated you to, or maybe you do like a new workout routine or gym regimen with someone else. You have a workout buddy, you have a work buddy, you have a project buddy, you have like, I feel like Taurus will have dynamics where it's just like they have their buddy with them and they're like encouraging them or motivating them or inspiring them in some way. Either way, you're also going to be recognized within your partnerships even more. And you're really going to be taking a lot of initiative with other people as well. And this also might be a time where you might have people around you that are a little bit more egotistical or a little bit more aggressive. So just be wary of that. You might just attract people that are just kind of overwhelming in that sense because they're aggressive or too egotistical, because you have these two very masculine planets in your 7th house. So be wary of that, and kind of be wary of arguments as well, because Mars does rule kind of arguing. So you might get into arguments with partners too. So either way, like, partnership is emphasized. That can go in a really great way or it can go in a bad way, just depending on your circumstances. But overall, it is emphasized. So just be wary of conflicts and be wary of miscommunications too. And then, of course, 7th house does rule contracts and law and legal stuff, so maybe you're working on that this month too. So my advice for like the Sun, Mars, Mercury energy is to not be egotistical with people. Don't get into too many fights. There's going to be misunderstandings that might lead to arguments, but just be wary of that. Don't get too consumed in arguing with people or trying to prove them wrong and things like that. I feel like this month, the purpose is to just more so focus on the balance between partnerships you have. And then a really great event that is happening this month that influences Taurus is that Jupiter is going to be making an aspect to Venus. And this is going to be happening in your 8th house. So basically what this means in a short summary is that Jupiter and Venus are the kind of like the most benefic planets in astrology. They bring all the good things in life, right? Jupiter and Venus bring love, they bring prosperity, abundance, all that stuff. And so the fact that you have it in the 8th house rules other people's money. It rules shared resources. It rules intimacy too. To be honest, for Taurus, this is a month where you might just benefit from other people, like especially financially. And honestly, for this month, my advice would be to just ask and you shall receive, like for real. Like if you just ask people for money, you'll probably get it this month. People are more willing to just give you stuff this month, pay for you, buy you lunch, buy you dinner. And this can be in like a romantic sense too. Like someone might take you shopping, pay your bills, anything like that where it has to do with someone paying you money, giving you their resources, sharing their resources with you or sharing their money with you is definitely going to happen for you this month. I can also see this manifesting too as like receiving a settlement check, receiving an insurance check, receiving some sort of tax check. This is a good month too to like sort your taxes if you're like somebody who likes to be ahead of the times, just because you have this 8th house energy. 8th house is taxes, it is insurance and stuff like that. So you can sort that, and it'll be very beneficial for you to do that this month in November. And then little side note, 8th house does rule like manifestation. So this is an excellent month to manifest. It's an excellent month to manifest maybe a partner or love or travel or any dream or idea you have. Just manifest it this month. Just write it down. Do like a new moon ritual or something. And it will most likely manifest for you. So yeah, like I said, you're going to be benefiting from other people. It is beneficial to ask for things at this time. You know, you're just going to be receiving stuff from people, especially money, resources, and things like that because of this Jupiter Venus influence in your 8th house. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Gemini. So for Gemini, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 6th house. So basically this means that for November, the 6th house energy is really going to be emphasized for you. And this is a time where you're really going to be focused on organization, on efficiency. You're going to be very productive during this time. You're going to want to get your life together, get things together, get organized. Like I said, very 6th house related things. And honestly, this is a month where I feel like you're focused on self-improvement, especially as it pertains to your habits, your routines, your health. You're really going to be analyzing yourself and what you do on a daily basis and how is that, you know, relevant to your goals, just overall relevant to how that will lead you to being your best self. And this is a month where you're really going to be transforming your habits. To be honest, I can see Geminis this month just kind of clocking themselves, like kind of analyzing what you do on a daily basis that isn't productive, or realizing your toxic habits, or realizing things that you do that just aren't conducive to your greater good. And you're just going to have this boost of energy to get things done, to fix things, to improve things. This can be in a literal way, like improving your diet, what you eat, how you work out, what you do every day. And honestly, this can be in a mental way as well, like what you think on a daily basis, your current beliefs on a daily basis, and what you tell yourself every day. And overall, I feel like your day-to-day life is just going to be transformed overall because you're really changing your habits this month and really changing yourself and improving yourself for the better. And basically with this emphasis on 6th house energy, the advice would be to not overstress yourself. Don't be too high strung. 6th house energy can get very stressful, so it's important to not stress yourself out too much and still find time for like self-care and stuff and not be too hard on your self-improvement journey that you're on. And then something really exciting for Geminis is that a major event happening in astrology this month is that Jupiter will be aspecting Venus, and this is happening in your 7th house. So this is exciting because Jupiter and Venus are the 2 planets that are benefic in astrology, and they bring all the good things in life. They bring love, relationships, money, prosperity, all that good stuff. And then of course, 7th house is the house of relationships. So to have these 2 benefic planets in your 7th house is a great indicator for new relationships, especially romantic ones. I feel like you're gonna get into a new relationship, and it's something you maybe didn't even expect at first. Like, you're probably watching this like, I don't know what she's talking about. But I feel like you will be pleasantly surprised when it comes to romance in November. And if you already are in a romantic relationship, this is the time where it's just going to be very harmonious. You guys are going to be going on dates. It's just going to be like no fighting, no arguing. You guys are just going to be very happy with each other, very content with each other. And overall, this is a very beneficial time for relationships for you. If you're single, you might get into a relationship. If you want to get married, you might get proposed to. This is like proposal energy. This is like marriage energy going on for Geminis in November. And I feel like Geminis are like the one exception to like the whole like don't get into a new relationship rule for retrograde, because you have such beneficial energy in your 7th house. And then also 7th house is the house of business, contracts, legal dealings, things like that. So if you are in a legal dealing or a contract, I feel like those will go very beneficial for you as well. So my advice for the Jupiter Venus energy in your 7th house would be to embrace new relationships, embrace partnerships, and just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't try to fight with people. It's just going to be a harmonious time for you overall. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Cancer. So for Cancer this month, the Sun, Mercury, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 5th house. So what this means is that for the month of November, 5th house themes are going to be very emphasized for you. So this is a time where you're really like having fun, you're indulging. Especially this is a time where you're really connecting with those hobbies that you are very passionate about. 5th house is the house of indulgence. It is the house of socializing. It is the house of hobbies and dating. I always call the 5th house the fun house because it's just the house of everything that is entertaining and fun. So for you, maybe this is a time where you're being really creative. You're really expressing yourself creatively. This is a time that might be great for creative projects for you. Maybe even doing simple things like painting or drawing or decorating your room. Anything that's really creative that you really resonate with on a personal level is a great time for you to do now. And this can also be a time where you're socializing more, where you just want to have fun, to be honest, where you just want to go to parties maybe, or you want to go to holiday parties, or you want to go to bars or events, which is funny because I know Cancers can be sort of like homebodies, but I feel like in November you're not going to really be at home that much. You're going to be socializing. Even if you are at home, you're going to be maybe socializing at home, having parties at your house or get-togethers and things like that. And this is a time too where you might be initiating new hobbies as well. Like I said, there's this theme of hobbies going on, like this theme of creative hobbies, especially for you. So you might like start a new craft, like you might start painting, or you might start doing Photoshop, or you might start doing things like that are creative endeavors that really inspire you in some way. You're going to start doing more of that in this month. And then of course you might be shopping more, spending more money, just indulging in the finer things in life, indulging in entertainment. You might be going to the movies, to the play, to museums, anything artistic and art related, anything creative, events. You're going to be going to those things in November. And then also you might be putting more energy into your dating life, especially if you're single. You might be just mingling more flirting, more things like that, more romance is going to be emphasized this month for you as well. And of course, the advice with all this like 5th house energy going on for you is to not overindulge. 5th house is the house of indulgence. So this is a time where it's like not too keen to spend too much money. Obviously, you're going to want to spend money and indulge and stuff, but don't spend too much money. Don't overdo it. This is a time, obviously, where you're going to be having a lot of fun and being carefree and creative, and really putting your happiness first, but it's important not to overdo it too much. And then a major event happening in astrology this month that will affect you is Jupiter and Venus are making an aspect. So basically what this means is that Jupiter and Venus are the two benefic planets in astrology. They bring everything good. They bring love, romance. They also bring prosperity, money, abundance, things like that. So to have that really prosperous energy in your 6th house, 6th house represents health, it represents routine and work and diet. So this is a time where you might benefit from working out a lot. You might benefit from changing your routine up. You might benefit from your work life might just be beneficial. You might be having very harmonious connections with your coworkers. And overall, you're going to have a very emphasized sense of vitality. You're going to just feel so alive, so excited, so vibrant in the month of November because of this positive aspect with Jupiter and Venus in your 6th house. And I guess my advice with the Jupiter and Venus aspect is just to enjoy the harmony, enjoy the peace, just enjoy this month. I feel like enjoying is just going to be the major theme for Cancers this month, is just enjoying your life. Okay, so let's talk about month of November for Leo. So for Leos this month, Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 4th house. So what this means is that for the month of November, 4th house themes are very much emphasized for you. And essentially 4th house represents home, foundations, family, our intuition, our mother as well. So this month for Leo, I feel like it's going to be a very emotionally reflective month for you. 4th house is all about things from the past, right? And retrograde is happening in this house for you. So you're just going to be feeling very nostalgic this month. You're going to be very connected with your home, your roots, your childhood. You're just going to be probably, I feel like Leos are gonna have like a marathon of watching like old cartoons or looking back in photo albums, or just being very focused on home. And it also might be a time where you're reflecting on your childhood. It is Scorpio season as well, so this could be a time where you're very focused on transforming your home somehow, or home improvement, and not really like in a physical sense, right? Maybe in like a metaphorical sense where you're improving things in your family dynamics, in your home dynamics. Maybe you're transforming the relationship with your mom or your grandma. And this is definitely a time where you're connecting with your family more. You might be doing activities with them. Like I said, doing things like looking back at old photo albums, watching old movies, things like that is like what you're going to be doing this month. And then also specifically with the Mars influence, you might be initiating new projects at home. You might be, decorating your room. Maybe for Christmas, you're definitely putting up the tree this month. I feel like Leos especially are going to be so obsessed with decorating their home this November. And honestly, this month, you might be very much of like a home body as well. Like I said, you're very focused on home and literally maybe staying put. Not really interested in socializing too much. I mean, you might be, but I feel like you're just focused on home this month. And this might lead to you being a little bit restless at home, like kind of being a little bit stir crazy. And because of that, it's important not to get into too many like fights or arguments with your family, because with this Mars energy, Mars is the planet of like aggression and fighting. So you might get into little arguments with your family here and there, but just be wary of that. And obviously it is a great time to decorate, to renovate, improve your home somehow, or, reflect on your childhood, reflect on your past, really just emotionally grounding yourself to your foundations and what you believe in and your home life. And then another important thing that's really beneficial for you happening this month is that in astrology, a major event that's happening is that Jupiter and Venus are making an aspect in November. And Jupiter and Venus are making this aspect in your 5th house. Jupiter and Venus are the two benefic planets in astrology, right? Jupiter and Venus bring all the good things in life. They bring relationships, romance, prosperity, abundance, money, you name it. So to have that positive energy in your 5th house, the 5th house is the house of indulgence, it's the house of luxury, it's the house of fun and dating and romance. It means that you're really going to benefit from those themes. You're going to benefit from your dating life. You might get into a new relationship. You might just be feeling a little bit more confident too. This is a time where you just benefit from socializing as well. Like I said, you might be feeling a little bit homebody-ish, but at the same time with this fifth house energy, it's very beneficial for you to socialize, just have fun. And overall, it's a good time to just enjoy yourself. You're gonna maybe even go shopping or spend more money on yourself, or like I said, maybe even date more or mingle more and just go to more social activities. And like I said, 5th house is the house of romance, and it's funny because on my little list here, I put that you might have a potential new relationship, and you also might have an expanded roster too. So romance might be popping for you guys, relationships might be popping, socializing might be popping, just overall enjoying yourself, having fun, entertainment as well. You might be going to creative events, museums, art exhibits, the movies, things like that during this month, and it's really going to benefit you to do those things. So my advice with the Jupiter-Venus aspect is to definitely socialize, because you never know who you're going to meet and how you can benefit from the relationships you make during this month. Okay, so let's talk about November for Virgos. So for Virgos, Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 3rd house this month. So what this means is that the 3rd house themes are going to be very emphasized for you. And 3rd house represents communications, short distance travel, co-workers, neighbors, siblings, daily tasks, daily routines, and it represents logistics, business, and like I said, communication too. So obviously these themes are going to be emphasized for you, but specifically, you're going to be very focused on your immediate surroundings this month. This is a month where you're really focused on sorting out your work life or sorting out logistical things in your life. I feel like definitely there's this really restless energy associated with the 3rd house. So this is a month, I feel like, honestly, Mercury in retrograde is going to hit you guys the hardest, just because you're going to be kind of disorganized, feeling very what's the word, like scatterbrained, just very kind of restless in your immediate surroundings. And then another theme emphasized for you guys is that you're going to be communicating way more. This could be a time where you're really communicating, especially with like your neighbors, your coworkers, people that just are in your daily life, maybe your peers or even your siblings. You're just going to be very communicative with those specific kind of people. This could be a time where you're taking a lot of meetings with people, just having a lot of just different interactions. It's going to be kind of like a busy month for you. It's going to feel like the energy is going to feel very busy for you. It's not very calm energy. It's very like busy, like I said, kind of scatterbrained. This could also be a time where you're networking, like I said, taking meetings. Just there's this like sense of communication. So in a professional sense, you could be doing a lot of networking, things like that, taking meetings and stuff. And you're really going to be focused on how you communicate your ideas. You're going to be focused on how you complete your daily tasks, how you plan your logistics out and stuff like that. And definitely my advice with this is just to kind of plan ahead, double check your emails. Like I said, I feel like Mercury in retrograde is going to hit you guys the hardest. And with the third house energy, it's important not to do anything too frivolous or just exhaust your energy so much or stress yourself out or gossip too much, or speak ill of people. Basically, the advice with third house energy is just like, don't do too much, because this is like the do too much energy and house. So just be wary of not doing too much, because it might backfire a little bit because of this retrograde energy too. But in November, something really exciting happening in astrology is that Jupiter and Venus are going to make an aspect, and this is going to be happening in your 4th house. So basically, Jupiter and Venus are the two most beneficial planets in astrology. They bring all the good things in life. They represent love, romance, prosperity, abundance, etc. So to have this really positive, influential energy in your 4th house, the house of home, the house of family, really represents that you might benefit from those themes. So specifically, you might be moving homes. It might be beneficial to start looking for new places to live. If you're like in that area of life, obviously, like if you're actually actively looking for a home or, you know, planning your dream home, this is the excellent time to manifest like your dream home, your dream apartment, look for apartments, things like that. Any like home energy, things relating to home, family, moving, you're really going to benefit from. It's a time where you might be beautifying your home too. I know Virgos obviously like to clean and organize, but especially this month, it might be about like interior decoration for you. Decorating things for the fall, for Christmas, maybe putting up a tree. This is the time too where it's beneficial, like you have beneficial energy with your family too, especially with your mom. It's just going to be very harmonious energy. I feel like Thanksgiving is going to be really pleasant for Virgos this month. My advice with the Jupiter-Venus aspect is just to enjoy your home life, beautify your home, and really think about how you can positively transform your home or increase the value that way. And like I said, it is a positive time to move, start thinking about your new dream home, manifest your dream home, start looking at dream homes. Even if you're not in that space of life, like I said, it's still good to kind of manifest or make vision boards based on that. Okay, so let's talk about Libra month of November. So Libra, in November, Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 2nd house. So basically this means that 2nd house themes are going to be very emphasized for you this month. And the 2nd house is all about money. It's about resources. It's about finances. It's about self-worth. So for this upcoming month, your awareness is really going to be placed on those things. You're going to be very focused on money this month, maybe focused on how to improve your resources somehow, how to strategize to make more money, earn more money, how to invest your money. And really, you're going to be taking financial initiative this month. Maybe you're somebody who spends a lot of money and doesn't keep track or doesn't budget. I know Libras are known for like spending a lot of money or splurging, but this is a good month for you to organize your budget, organize spreadsheets, organize things like that, balance your books. Anything having to do with money, organization of your money, is really going to benefit you this month. And you're also going to be faced with major financial decisions this month. With retrogrades influence, you might have like major kind kind of, what is it called, like finances or surprise expenses this month. So it's really important this month to really be smart about your money, how you use your money, how you invest your money, how you organize, budget, all that stuff. And then on another note, like I said, second house is self-esteem, it is self-worth. So you're gonna have like an emphasized awareness on your self-worth, how you feel about yourself. And oftentimes how we feel about ourselves and our self-esteem is directly connected to how much money we make or how much money we earn or how much money we think we're worth, right? So this is a month, maybe you're transforming some beliefs about yourself, or maybe you're feeling more confident this month. Maybe, I definitely sense like by the end of the month, you're gonna have like a very boosted sense of self-esteem. You're gonna be feeling more aware of what your true value is. You're going to be becoming more aware of how valuable you truly are. And you're going to be very almost unapologetic about kind of setting that standard about your value. I almost imagine it as like Libras are like setting their price this month and leaving it there. Because you're going to be so focused on your self-esteem. You're going to get a boost in your self-esteem, and you're going to be focused on your finances too. And like I said, money and how much money we earn is really connected to how we feel about ourselves. And then something exciting happening in astrology this month is that Jupiter and Venus are going to be making an aspect in November. So this is really exciting just because Jupiter and Venus are like the two benefic planets in astrology. Jupiter and Venus bring all the good things in life. It brings romance, money, abundance, prosperity, you name it. And this is going to be happening in your third house. So to have this really beneficial, very positive energy in your third house means that you're really going to be benefiting from communication. You're going to be benefiting from conversations. Like I said, there's this second house theme and then third house theme too going on with you. So maybe you have really beneficial meetings that bring you a lot of money, or beneficial business ideas that you communicate with others, and then you somehow find like an investor or something to that effect where it's like the communication you has results in money for you, or results in more income, or results in more resources for you. And also you're just gonna have overall harmony when it comes to socializing, especially with your neighbors, your siblings, your coworkers. You're just gonna have very harmonious interactions with them, harmonious communications, and like I said, maybe even profitable communications with those people, with your peers, with your coworkers, or beneficial communications with them, or financially beneficial communications with them. Overall with this month, I would say the advice would be to be careful with your finances. Really be smart about your finances, how you're investing it. Don't be afraid to organize, bust out the spreadsheets, budgets, maybe even get an accountant or something like that to help organize your money. The other advice would be to socialize, communicate with others, and not be afraid to collaborate with others too. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Scorpio. So for Scorpio, you're gonna have Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in your first house. Basically, this means first house themes are gonna be very emphasized for you this month. And first house represents our identity, our physical body, and our approach to the world and how we perceive the world, and more importantly, how we are perceived in the world. And specifically for Scorpios, I feel like you're really gonna be transforming your identity this month. This is Scorpio season, right? So I feel like you're going to be very visible this month and very confident this month, but at the same time, you're kind of transforming some aspect of your identity. And I feel like literally this month, Scorpios are going to go under some sort of transformation, like maybe a physical one, like changing your hair, dyeing your hair, getting a new wig, getting new makeup, getting a new beauty treatment, getting new clothes, new style. You're going to change some physical aspect of yourself this month. And this is a time too where you're really like asserting your identity. This is a time where you're like, here I am, I'm bold, I'm proud. Usually I know Scorpios are the type to be mysterious and kind of be in the shadows a little bit, and just be more observant than actually being center stage. But I feel like for November, Scorpios are actually going to be center stage. They're actually going to be very visible to others, very noticed and admired by other people. And with that, I feel like there's this overall energy of becoming aware of how you're perceived by other people. Like I said, you're going to transform this month, but I feel like that's going to happen because you realize, okay, I'm perceived this way because of this, or I'm perceived this way because of this. So therefore, you might transform that aspect of yourself or change something of yourself to be more in alignment with who you truly are. And then also with this Mars influence in the first house, you're going to be feeling very ambitious as well. very almost, you know, driven to take initiative, driven to accomplish things, driven just to be yourself, to transform and just be bold and unapologetic, really. So the advice with all this like first house energy is to really embrace transformation, obviously, which is maybe a little bit more easy for Scorpios. Embrace transformation and also avoid self-destruction. I know there's like a fine line between like transforming yourself and then just destroying yourself, which I think is all part of the same process, but just be careful not to be too harsh on yourself or too self-destructive. Embrace the transformation and be purposeful about it without being too self-destructive at the same time. And then a really exciting thing that's happening in astrology is that Jupiter and Venus are going to be making an aspect in November, and this is going to be happening in your second house. So this is so exciting because Jupiter and Venus bring all the good things in life. Jupiter and Venus are the benefic planets in astrology, so they represent love, romance, money, prosperity, you name it, and have such beneficial energy influencing your second house. Second house is the house of money. It's the house of resources. So this means you might be earning more money this month. Like definitely I see Scorpios just like randomly getting money this month, or randomly being gifted something very valuable to them. Maybe somebody, you know, buys you like a new phone or a new laptop, or maybe somebody buys you plane tickets, or I mean the list goes on, right? But people might just literally give you money. Either way, finance is going to be a very beneficial thing for you in November. I feel like you're not going to have to worry about money too much this month because you might get it unexpectedly. You might make more money than you thought you were going to make. And just overall have a lot of luck with your finances. Second house is self-esteem too. So you're going to be feeling so confident in November. Plus you have that first house energy. So this month for you is really about yourself, about your self-confidence, and you're really going to experience a huge boost in your self-esteem, and really realize what your true worth is, and really realize how you truly want to be perceived based on how you feel about yourself. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Sagittarius. So for you, Sagittarius, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 12th house. So this means November is going to be very 12th house themed for you. And what is 12th house? 12th house is the house of isolation, the house of privacy, spirituality. So really for Sagittarius, it's going to be such a spiritual month for you. This is a month where it's like you don't want to do anything else but just invest your time in your own spirituality. This is a month where you're kind of focused more inward. This is a time maybe where you're isolating yourself more, being more private, just like kind of wanting more alone time. And with this alone time, what you're doing is just really getting to know yourself better, connecting with your inner self, connecting with your subconscious mind, connecting with your, you know, inner shadows too. And this is interesting energy for Sagittarius just because I know they like to be optimistic and see the brighter side of things, but 12th house energy isn't really like that. So I definitely feel like this month you're going to be more focused on the depths of life, more focused on the secrets, more motivated to uncover your inner self, uncover like your inner truth, and not just be, you know, jolly and superficial and happy, but really digging deep this month in a spiritual way. And this month might be a little bit challenging too for you just because 12th house energy, it is very detached, it is very not like integrated in a sense. So you can be feeling very drained or very tired, very sleepy this month. This is a month where it's just like you want to sleep all the time, you want to meditate, you don't want to do anything but just like chill out. And honestly, it is a good time, especially with retrograde, to just retreat. So maybe if you go on like a retreat, like literally a retreat, or go to a spa, or just do really relaxing activities by yourself to avoid getting too drained or stressed out. And it's also an excellent time to like write down your dreams. You're going to be getting really prophetic dreams this month, really important dreams that carry really important messages. So it's really important to connect with like that spiritual side of yourself this month and embrace it instead of rejecting it. Then just be careful this month. I think the advice would be to like not get lost in the sauce, because 12th house energy, it is kind of insidious and chaotic. It isn't very grounded either. So just don't, I feel like Sagittarius are gonna kind of be in their own world, kind of isolated, but don't get too lost in that world. Make sure you ground yourself too. And then a really exciting event that's happening in astrology this month is that Jupiter is going to be aspecting Venus, and that's going to be happening in your first house. So basically, Jupiter and Venus are the two benefic planets in astrology, and they bring all the good things. They represent, you know, all the great things in life, like prosperity, abundance, romance, and things like that. So with this really positive energy influencing your first house, it represents that you're going to be feeling very beautiful this month. First house is our physical body. It is our appearance. It is how we approach the world too. It's also how we present ourselves in the world, how we're perceived. It also represents our sense of identity. So this is the time where, even though you are kind of isolated, you still have a very optimistic outlook on life. Like I said, you might be feeling very beautiful this month, or more noticed by people than usual. You might be more like investing your time in your appearances, like I said, going to spas, getting facials, doing things like that. And there's just like this really enhanced sense of beauty for you this month, and really optimistic approach to the world. And honestly, you're going to be admired for your beauty, more recognized for your beauty. With Jupiter's influence too, you have to watch out for not overindulging or eating too much or things like that. This is definitely a month where you probably might overdo it at Thanksgiving. But overall, there is very beneficial energy influencing your first house, and it is a good time to kind of feel more beautiful and really place more emphasis on your identity and valuing yourself and really presenting yourself in a way where you feel the most beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Capricorns. So for Capricorns, Sun, Mars, and Mercury are all going to be in your 11th house. Basically for you, November is going to be very 11th house themed. 11th house does represent social groups. It represents our hopes, our dreams, our wishes. It also represents community, organizations, volunteering, and things like that. So for you in November, to have all this energy in your 11th house really represents you're going to be socializing a lot more. And specifically for Capricorns, I feel like they're going to be networking. 11th house is networks too, even social networks. But you might be networking, social climbing, elevating your status somehow, but in a social way. And this is a time where, like I said, you're very focused on your ranking within your social groups. So maybe you're trying to improve your rank in whatever social organization you're a part of, whatever communities you're a part of. And like I said, this can be in real life and online too. Really going to be pursuing to be around like-minded people. You just want to be around people that are in your same, maybe people that are in your same demographic, in your same place of work, in your same industry, things like that, where you're just really networking and joining minds and collaborating with people that are similar to you. This can also be a time where you're kind of reevaluating your hopes and dreams and goals and wishes. 11th house does represent our goals and stuff in a sense. And you might be really reevaluating those things, really reevaluating what you find important to you, reevaluating what friends are important to you, reevaluating what communities you're a part of and how those are important to you and how those align with your personal goals. And you might be even getting invited to stuff this month, like getting invited to social events, getting invited online to social events, or things like that. And I would say the advice for all this like 11th house energy going on for you guys is to make time for yourself as well. Don't be too consumed in like social climbing that you kind of neglect yourself. You're going to be very social this month and networking and stuff like that, but don't forget to make time for yourself too. And then another exciting event happening in astrology this month is that Jupiter is going to be aspecting Venus, and this is directly influencing your 12th house. And 12th house is the house of spirituality. It is the house of isolation, privacy, secret. To have all this beneficial energy influencing your 12th house really manifests as you experiencing the more like positive sides of the 12th house, because the 12th house isn't a like super positive house, but I feel like for Capricorns, you're going to experience the positive sides of the 12th house, like I said. So maybe you benefit from being alone, benefit from meditation, you benefit from maybe even travel to foreign countries. Any type of spiritual practice you're really going to be benefiting from. You might even have very prophetic dreams. You might benefit from your, dream life. You're going to be having really like great nights of sleep this month because like I said, you have this beneficial energy of Jupiter and Venus in the 12th house, and 12th house is dreams and sleeping too. So you might have like I don't know, just sleep really well this month. Honestly, isolation, meditation, and just like kind of privacy and spiritual practice is more beneficial to you than normal this month. So I feel like like I said earlier, it's beneficial to obviously network and socialize, but have that retreat time, because that retreat time that you make for yourself is really going to benefit you this month. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Aquarius. So for Aquarius this month, Sun, Mars, and Mercury are all going to be in your 10th house. So what this means is that November for you is going to be very 10th house themed. And 10th house is all about career, it's about legacy, it's about status, our public reputation too. So these are really going to be your main focuses this month. And specifically for Aquarius in November, I feel like you're going to be very focused on your reputation, how you're perceived publicly and professionally. I can see this manifesting as you kind of improving your social medias, maybe improving your LinkedIn profile, improving your Instagram profile. Anything having to do with your public image, you're going to be very focused on. Maybe improving it somehow this month. And then career-wise, this is kind of beneficial for you too, just because you're going to be more recognized at work, potentially recognized in your industry, in your field. You might be recognized for something you did, elevated to some sort of status because of this. This might manifest as you getting a promotion or somehow elevating your position at work too. And overall, Aquarius is just so ambitious this month when it comes to achieving your goals, especially your professional goals, especially your career goals. In November, you're just going to be so driven to achieve your goals and kind of be focused on your direction in life and where you're going and how you're perceived, and really just focusing on your status this month. And to be honest, the actions that you take now have a huge impact on the public. It has a huge impact on how you're perceived in the public. So obviously you want to take proper measures to ensure that how you're perceived and the impacts you have is what is in alignment with what you want. And your reputation is going to be very visible this month, very recognized this month. This isn't a month where you're very hidden. I feel like you're going to be recognized, especially at work, in social settings, social medias. Just overall, there's this huge theme of public recognition for you. And obviously the advice with this really prominent 10th house energy is to not forget to focus on yourself, focus on your, self-care, things that you, do to rejuvenate yourself. With 10th house energy, it is very workaholic energy. It is very like social status, social climbing energy. So you're going to do those things. You're going to participate in those things, be focused on those things, but don't forget to focus on your inner self too. And then a really exciting event that's happening in astrology this month is Jupiter is going to be aspecting Venus. If you guys don't know already, Venus and Jupiter are the two benefic planets in astrology. So basically they're the planets that represent, good luck, harmony, abundance, prosperity, love, all of those things. So to have this beneficial energy influencing your 11th house, it really represents the fact that you're going to benefit from social dynamics. You're going to benefit from social networking. Overall, you're going to benefit from communities you're a part of, your friends. This is a month where it's like your friends might treat you to maybe a trip abroad, or people just pay for you when you go places. Maybe you go to group dinners a lot and the tab is covered. Overall, this is just very lucky, very prosperous energy, because 11th house is about gains too. So you might be gaining money. And this all might happen through other people, if that makes sense. So gaining money through others, gaining status through others. And honestly, I feel like your social status and social reputation is just going to be very beneficial this month. They're very almost boosted in a sense. You're going to be very recognized, almost very popular this month, maybe very social, being invited to things. And you're really going to experience the benefits of the 11th house. So obviously social benefits, status benefits, gains, money, things like that. And the advice with this 11th house positive energy is to socialize. You never know who you can meet. Expect to gain from other people. Expect to gain from your social networks. Make connections with people and gain from those too. Okay, so let's talk about the month of November for Pisces. So for Pisces, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are all going to be in your 9th house in November. So this means that November is going to be a very 9th house themed month for you. This is a month where you're very focused on your spiritual beliefs. You're focused on your faith, what you believe in, philosophies. You might even be kind of like reevaluating what you believe in. and reevaluating how you view the world. Ninth house is the house of travel too. It's the house of higher knowledge. It's the house of, like I said, spirituality, religion, faith, philosophy. So maybe literally this is a time where you're engaging in more spiritual practice. Maybe you start following a certain spiritual belief or spiritual teacher. Maybe you start reading more books, not just spiritual books, but just reading in general, gaining more knowledge, higher knowledge. This is also a beneficial time for like people in college or university or in high school, in terms of like tests and academics, because this is a time where you actually feel more motivated to study and doing better academically. You're going to be very driven this month to gain higher knowledge and really just gain knowledge about what you're passionate about. Even if you're in school or not, you're just going to be almost studying in a sense because you're so driven to get this wisdom you really need. And then literally also you might be going to church more often, you might be meditating more, doing yoga, you might be going to certain meditation groups, social events that are about spirituality. And to be honest, you might be reevaluating your sense of faith as well. Maybe this is a time where you're reevaluating what you believe in, what you believe to be the truth, what philosophies you really hold near and dear to you, what philosophies you want to follow or adopt into your lifestyle. Also, I feel like this is a month for Pisces where you're just so optimistic. Like nothing can get you down. The sky is the limit. Even in the darkest moments, you feel very optimistic about things. You see the bigger picture this month. I think that's the major theme this month, is just having this awareness of your role within the bigger picture of life in society as well. And you're really just gaining this sense of self-awareness. You're also expanding your consciousness this month. As I mentioned, actually I don't know if I said this, but ninth house is the house of kind of consciousness. It's the house of expansion too. So it's like you're expanding your wisdom, expanding your consciousness, really just expanding your self-awareness like you never really have before. And also with this like combination of optimism and awareness, I feel like this is a time where you're really creating a vision for your life. This is the time where you're like creating a vision board, creating your dream life, right? Writing it out, manifesting it, just imagining all of the possibilities that could happen for you. And to be honest, there are a lot of possibilities and opportunities that are coming your way, that are present for you. And all you have to do is be ready for them, be ready to receive them. Ninth house is a very beneficial house. It is a very lucky house. So you might experience a lot of benefits and luck this month as it pertains to opportunities and possibilities. And because you're so optimistic this month, anything is possible. Anything can happen. And then also, I don't know if I said this, but ninth house is representative of travel too. So this is a time where you might be traveling, you might be planning a travel trip, or if you go on vacation in January, maybe you're planning vacations, things like that. Overall this month, you're really focused on developing more experiences for yourself, expanding your experiences, living life, really. I feel like Pisces are really just gonna like be boldly like pursuing the lifestyle they want in November. And I think with this ninth house energy, the advice would be to not fly too close to the sun, right? Not get too lost in your fantasy or too lost in your vision or feel like you're untouchable. Because obviously, I mean, what goes up must come down, right? And even though there's this very lucky energy happening for you, you still have to be grounded in reality, be grounded in yourself. Don't think you're untouchable from certain things just because you have a lot of luck on your side right now. And then another exciting event happening in November is that Jupiter is going to be aspecting Venus, and that's going to be happening in your 10th house. So this is really exciting because Jupiter and Venus are both the benefic planets in astrology. They're planets that represent all the good things, right, in our chart. It represents romance, dating, prosperity, abundance, wealth, money, you name it. So when you have these two positive energies influencing your 10th house is career, it's status, it's reputation. This means you really are going to pull benefits from your career in November. You're going to get that promotion, you're going to get that recognition, you're going to make a lot of money from your career, maybe more than you ever thought you would. I feel like with this 9th house, 10th house energy, there's this theme of like unexpected blessings and even like unexpected miracles. Like if you're stressed out or struggling right now, like you're not going to be in November. There's some major opportunities coming your way, major blessings, major prosperity coming your way. And specifically, it might come through your experiences or come through your career or your job. Also, there's this sense of getting offers from people. Like you might be offered very prosperous things, offered a prosperous gift, offered a prosperous contract or collaboration, things like that. And overall, with this positive influence on your 10th house, there's a elevation in social status too. I think I mentioned like there's more recognition for you in terms of social status, achieving your goals, just really elevating financially, elevating socially, elevating in your career is really what's going to happen for you. I think my advice with this positive energy in your 10th house is to accept those offers, be open to receiving. This is a month for Pisces where it's like you're going to be receiving things, you're going to be offered things. Like I said, opportunities, possibilities. So don't be afraid to accept those offers. Still kind of be critical of them, analyze them, whatnot, be logical, but still accept those offers when they come to you because this is a really special, lucky time for you. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in my next one.